Hey, welcome back to Cobb's Q. We're glad that you joined us today. We're going to do something a little different. We're not going to be outside. Rather, we're going to cook on the inside. We're going to make a condiment sauce that has just been phenomenal. It was actually founded as a mistake. So, when I grew up, my dad was very fond of making jalapeno jelly, and we used to live for the days that he made this. It was just amazing. So when I grew up, I finally learned how to make it and began doing so myself. Eventually, I began making habanero jelly, and I really liked that. One day I had this bright idea to combine the juicy fruit of a mango with the spiciness of a habanero. And to my disappointment, it did not congeal as a gel, rather stayed a little bit on the runny side. While I thought I failed, we went ahead, poured it out one night. I made beer battered panko coconut shrimp, if you will, and we dipped it in that. And oh my God, it was amazing. So today, we're gonna make mango habanero sauce, not jelly. And this, you can take to the bank. So to get started with this sauce, we're going to want to get 2 ripe mangoes. Now, your chances of finding a ripe mango at the local grocery store are probably slim and none. But if you can leave them out on the table for about 4 or 5 days, or stick them in a brown bag with a banana, they'll ripen up fairly quick. Once they're ripe, you want to get 14 habaneros. Now, a lot of people add other fillers. Remember, this is not a hot sauce. This is not the sauces you find online. I'm a purist. I want the sweet, amazing flavor of mango along with that spiciness that the habaneros bring. So that's all we're going to use. Then we're going to want 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. You're also going to use 6 tablespoons of white table sugar. Finally, we're going to need 1 packet of liquid pectin. Now, I prefer ball liquid pectin, but for some unknown reason, I can't find it anymore. So I'm basically stuck with Certo. Lastly, you're going to want 8 or 9 ball jelly jars. The sauce could make 8, it might make 9, so it doesn't hurt to have that spare available. All right, let's get started. To cut the mangoes, they can be a pain if you've never cut one of these, okay? So if you'll look real close at the mango, one side is flat, and if you turn it, the other side is a little oblong. That is where the seed runs down the middle. You just want to take a knife and you want to slice right down the edge of the seed. You might catch it, if so, just cut around the edge all the way down to the end of the mango. Then turn it around, and we're going to cut the other side off as well. And we're going to set the seed aside, and we'll pull the rest of it off of the seed in a moment. Now that we have the mango sliced, we're simply going to take a knife and we're going to score the mango, going down, turning it, and then coming down again until we've made a grid. And you bend the mango in half and easily pull the mango out of the skin. Once you're done, repeat on the other side. Then take the seed and just slice away the remaining mango from the seed. Once you're done with this, now it's time to prep the habaneros. First, wash them off very well. Once you're done, let's go ahead and either cut it lengthwise or just cut the top off. You want to dig down inside and get the seeds out, but you also want to get the membrane. Remember, the membrane is where the heat comes from, not the seeds. That's a fallacy. It is the membrane that contains the heat and the capsin that'll really get you. Then simply tear it up. You don't have to cut it fancy. It's just going to set aside because we're going to put it in a blender in a moment. Once you have all 14 habaneros done, we're going to take a blender and we're going to go ahead and place the habaneros in there. And then we're going to place the mango pieces as well. And then 1 of the 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. Go ahead and turn your processor on and let it run until you get as smooth a sauce as possible. When you're finished, turn it off, and if you see any large chunks, go ahead and pull them out because they're just not going to set well in the sauce in the end. And then finally, take this over and pour it carefully into an 8-quart pot on the stove. Now, while all this was going on, I had taken my jelly jars, I had washed them with soap and water really well, and then I'd gotten my canner set up to a boil. I placed the jars in the water, and they've been boiling for at least 10 minutes up to this point. Now that I have the sauce poured into the 8-quart container, I'm going to pour the remaining 1 cup of apple cider vinegar into the pot. Now you're going to take the 6 cups of sugar, pour it into the sauce, turn the heat on, and then slowly bring the sauce to a boil. Once it hits boil, you want to turn the heat down to keep it on a slow boil. If you don't, you're going to have a surprise on your hands. It will come up, it will come over, and it'll be all over your stove. Don't ask me how I know this, just take my word for it. As it begins to boil, stir consistently. You want to go for 10 minutes. Now, while I say 10 minutes, I also set a timer for myself to leave me at least 4 minutes before that 10 minutes is up. When the timer hits that 4 minutes, I begin pulling the jelly jars out of the water bath that's been boiling. By this time, it's gone for close to 20 minutes. They're set aside on a very clean towel that's been sanitized through the laundry, and then they're ready when the jelly is done. Once your 10 minutes is finished, you're going to take 1 package of the Certo liquid pectin. As it comes to boil, set a timer for 1 minute. Continue to stir until the 1 minute is complete. Once complete, take the jelly off heat, place your funnel for canning in the first jar, and with a sanitized ladle, begin filling the jars. You want to leave about a 1/4 inch headroom in each jar as you fill. And then you want to take the lids out of the simmering pot, place on top of the jar, and then screw the band back on. Finish all the jars, and then once you're done, place them back in your water canner. Now I'm at below 1,000 feet, so I need to go 10 minutes. Once 10 minutes have passed inside the water bath, we're going to go ahead, turn the heat off here, raise the jars up, let them set. Now one trick, if you take the jars out now, you may notice some water spots or maybe a little saltiness depending upon your water that seems to deposit on the jars themselves. I take 1/3 cup of white vinegar and I pour it in with water when I put the jars in to the water when they're full with the jelly. After processing, when I pull the jars out, they're clean. It does 2 things. A, it keeps the water canner cleaner. B, it also keeps the jars clean. So when you give something like this to somebody, it doesn't have stains all over it. The mango habanero sauce is just phenomenal. Now that we've made it, there's always a little extra, which I love. I wish I had some Triscuits and some cream cheese. This would be amazing over the top of that. So we're going to give this a taste, see what it came out like. Oh, the ripe mango is there. Wow. The habanero is there, and then it mellows out. It's a zing, but it's not burning. I can't wait to make some recipes and use this. But I don't want to tell my friends I've done this because I'm going to end up with 1 or 2 jars left for myself. Enjoy. Oh, that's so good. So, what can we do with this amazing stuff? Imagine, if you will, beer battered panko coconut shrimp dipped in mango habanero sauce. Imagine vanilla ice cream with a little sweet, savory, and spicy right over the top. Imagine, if you will, ribs coming off the smoker, and you slather a little of this mango habanero on it, place it back in for 10 minutes, and let the ribs come off. I'm telling you, this sauce was an incredible find. If you haven't taken up canning and you have a garden, this is something you should think about anyway, because canning is amazing. And if you do peppers, it's phenomenal. You get your own jalapeno peppers, or you can make cowboy candy peppers. It's just fantastic. And then you can do things like this mango habanero sauce. It's just fantastic, and it really is cheap to get into. Anywho, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for watching what we did. I hope that you say, what the heck? I'm going to try this. Trust me, it's easy, and the return is amazing. I hope that you'll like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think, especially if you make this. And again, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch what we're doing. One of the next videos will be doing ribs with this sauce. Have a great day. Finally, we're going to need 1 packet of liquid pectin. Always used liquid ball in the past. I always use liquid ball pectin. Always use ball liquid pectin. Lastly, you're going to want 8 or 9 ball liquid jelly jars. Ball pepper jelly jars. Woohoo! Ball jelly jars. And you bend the mango in half and simply pull the mango off the outside. The f do you call that stuff? Outside of the what? And easily pull the mango out of the skin.